You're listening to Until They Sleep, a podcast where two parents finally get to sit down and discuss all the different things that run through their heads every day because their four kids are finally asleep. Thanks for listening. Welcome back to Until They Sleep. This is Shantelle.
And I'm Daniel.
And thank you for joining us once again.
What have I missed?
What have you missed this week?
Tell me about your busy week that I barely saw you.
What did I do this week? It's kind of a blur.
We were supposed to volunteer. We had trail trips, but the kids didn't go to school because they ended up being a little under the weather.
Yes,
and
they
doctor
got sick.
took them out for a few days.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
the house was crazy with kids running around.
And
supposedly sick.
And I had to take our son to get braces.
Right.
And all the 3-hour drive to go get braces because he got them as a gift.
Right? Hollywood?
Beverly Hills.
Oh, Beverly Hills.
Yeah, because my brother got him a gift. I guess it's contract that they have.
He's pimping him out. He's gonna pimp him out. He's gonna be his future manager when he becomes a model. So he's doing all the
upgrades.
He's doing the upgrades. You know, making the teeth all nice and straight and.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know. I think my brother had braces a while back, and our son was commenting to him about asking him about the braces, and he said he wanted braces to my brother, and my brother said, "Oh, I'll get you some," and then he did, and we were like, okay. I mean, he's still little; his teeth are still coming in, but I guess this is the age a lot of people give their kids braces. I don't understand that. Like when they're still losing their molars.
They're starting in high school. They're going to start getting on fights and getting punched and stuff. So it's like kind of pointless.
Not every kid goes through that, but my whole point being if they still have to lose their molars, his wisdom teeth still haven't come in. Like all that changes your mouth.
Imagine if I would have never changed my work schedule and I actually still had him in hockey.
Well, yeah, that would be different.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, you took him out of hockey because that was too much for you to take.
I was pregnant.
Yeah,
while he was in hockey, and it was just me by myself.
That was a long drive, yeah. So
yeah,
but still, imagine that would have been all wasted, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure he has some.
Oh, with his rage at this age, yeah, maybe.
All right, so that was going on, and then you had what was it?
It
was supposed to be a performance, right? You said?
Okay, so I found out last minute that our 6-year-old was going to perform during the volunteer appreciation brunch at the school. So I was like, shoot, I got to change my schedule now so I can go see that because it will be her last performance at this location. So I made sure I got, and I am, a registered volunteer for the school. So why shouldn't I go? I should be there. So I went, and man, I felt so out of place. I am, all these other moms that literally live at the school. Mm-hmm. They all know each other. They're all like this clique. And each table had its little clique of moms where, there's the driving moms and there's the help out in classroom moms and there's the help out, around the school general stuff moms. There's the ones that help out with the drama club and with, show choir and all these different things. And I was like that. Well, I've done 3 volunteers this year, and I'm going to do actually one more volunteer this coming week. And that's it. That's all the volunteering I've done. But I definitely felt out of place there. And it's definitely a topic that's been on my mind. Like, I don't belong to the Mom Clique.
Well, it's a freaking gang.
And they're a gang. It felt like it. It feels like it. Because they literally don't talk to you. Like if you're not... one of those moms.
Yeah, you haven't been there long enough.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there for 5 years.
Doesn't matter. You haven't been there long enough.
Oh my gosh.
You haven't done enough hours of.
I haven't done enough volunteer hours. Yeah, I guess
you're not certified. Mom Clique.
Mom Clique material. Yeah, I've been at this school for 5 years, and I'm like, I am not part of these cliques. Like, I volunteer when I can, but most of these moms are also stay-at-home moms, 100%. their world is their kids and
Oh
nothing
yeah, and I'm pretty
else.
sure they live down the street from the school.
That
so,
too.
So
That too. Most of them do live
So
like
do you
in the
feel not
neighborhood.
accepted? Do you feel like, oh, you're not part of the cool gang?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn. A part of me was just like,
be part of the cool moms.
I want to be. I do. A part of me just want to be part of the
Desperate
mom cool gang.
Housewives of
I don't know
whatever
about all
school's
Desperate
name.
Housewives, but I just kind of. A part of me was just like, gosh, it'd be kind of nice to have mom friends. You know that our kids go to school together, and I have one mom friend, but she's like me. You know, we're both working,
And if you were, you still wouldn't be part of the clique.
I know, because I work.
talk too much, or you work too much, or your point of view is different, or your different skin tone, or your different.
That's true.
Social
Most of them are a lighter shade.
Yeah. So no matter what, you're not gonna fit in. So there you go.
Yeah,
I saved you that.
I sat
right
at
now.
the table. The table I sat
Moms
at.
are freaking ruthless. Okay.
They are. I sat at the table. Well, I sat at this one table in the back by myself, and I was looking around the room, smiling. And if moms like noticed me, and then this other mom shows up, and she like beelines towards me because even though she knew some of the other moms, I guess she just wanted to sit in the back, and she was polite. And it turned out it's her first year there. But she's one of those driving mom volunteers. So she's volunteered several tribes to drive the kids to different events.
Several tribes.
I'm sorry. She's driven
That's what I heard.
the kids. It's completely possible that's what it sounds like. But she's driven the kids several times for different events. Because
what is it with the tapping? You keep.
I don't know. I'm talking with my hands because maybe this is like a subject that's been really on my mind right now. I get elaborate with my hands when you know this about me. I just haven't been very elaborate lately. I haven't talked with my hands. Like maybe it's my new, substitute coffee.
Like literally, I just told you this. It's like you just.
I can't help it. I'm just tapping.
3, 5, 4.
Mine's a little different. Mine's like nail tapping. Yours is just like thumping.
That's what I hear. That's what I'm doing.
Oh.
I'm making fun of you.
I did stop drinking coffee. I'm on my 3rd or 4th week of no coffee.
Well, you know what? Nobody likes quitters. So
it says the guy who's not supposed to be drinking coffee.
You're a quitter.
As part of his lifestyle.
Yeah, because I'm not a quitter.
But you quit everything else. You quit the bread and you quit the sugar and you quit the carbs, even though actually you haven't quit them in the last year.
I've been bad boy lately.
Yeah. So, but I have quit coffee, but I did buy a coffee substitute. It's not Postum because that's what I grew up, in my household we had Postum and you can't seem to find it in Southern California anymore. But I now found, I guess, Roma is the next thing. And then I found something at Barron's, some chicory root thing.
It's actually pretty good.
That one's actually more of a tea than...
Whatever. That's pretty good. You let me taste it. It tastes pretty good.
The kids are excited. They're like, is this coffee we can drink? I'm like, well, it's not even coffee, but yeah, you can drink this. So, anyways. But I feel good.
All right, so I'm gonna poke. So, what is it about the whole mom thing that you just want to feel that you belong?
I don't know. I know I've always been like, I don't care if I have mom friends or not, but I don't know. I kind of see all those moms and I'm like, I want to get invited to go do stuff. But then like you said, I know I'm going to be that mom that cancels because that's happened, where I've had mom friends invite us to do stuff. I even had a mom friend invite us to go to the beach and I was just like, I can't. Between all these different things going on around.
Yeah, the schedule's pretty hectic.
Yeah,
so many kids.
I can't just get away.
What is it about wanting to feel included or being a part of a clique?
I think it's just for the camaraderie of it.
Camaraderie of what? Being a parent?
Being around other moms who are going through similar things.
What has happened usually when you end up talking to other moms before in the past?
I think you're just trying to get me to not want to have friends.
No.
In all honesty, we had a nice little clique when all our kids were in the same school. Like we had our little mom friends, and I mean, even then though, I still didn't really click with all of them because two of the moms were like runners, so they would like join up to go running. Another mom was into, CrossFit, and then another mom was a stay-at-home mom. Two others, they worked for the school district. So
That was a cool clique.
I mean,
We
that
all
was,
seemed to get along pretty good.
yeah, and we
Kicked it and hung out.
yeah. I mean, but what did we have in common was that our kids were all at the same school.
But then you went to our kids went to a different school, and then their kids started going. That's where it all changed, right?
Yeah, and that to me sucks. Is
But
like
one of them kept in touch more often than all the other ones, right?
yeah, and I still talk to her, and like I said, her son.
So then there's your clique. There's your
well,
one clique.
not even because again, she's also super busy.
It's called life.
Yeah,
it's called life.
No,
Everybody has
know.
lives.
I get
Everybody
it.
has other things
but
to
sometimes
do.
when I think it'd be nice to like go to these things and be like, "Hey, Shantelle, it's great that you could have made it." Like, I know it sounds like I want praise, but it's not that
needy.
it's not, maybe I've become a little needy for like that mom friend or that mom camaraderie, someone that understands me at a mom level and not like my husband or my mom who's like constantly judging me. So, and you're not here, so you don't see everything that happens when you're not here. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just sometimes like lately, because I've been around it more, I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to talk to other people.
Well, maybe you just gotta
like you
way
have
more.
You have your clique of friends at work.
Like you just said, like you have those most of those moms have been doing it. They do it all the time. You do it like whenever you get a chance, right?
Whenever I have time or I make time.
So then you said like they already have their cliques because they do it all the time. They deal with each other. They hang out with each other.
Yeah,
they do everything together. Right?
Yeah.
So then, if you want that, then maybe you should volunteer more then.
Well, but see, I shouldn't have to volunteer, and maybe that's part of my problem. Like that, the other side of me.
You do have to because if you want to get into a group of friends of people that they already have an established relationship.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. So a part of me wants to be like part of the clique, but another part of me is like, I shouldn't have to like dive into it 100% to be like recognized. Like, hey, Shantelle, glad you could make it. Thanks for coming out, type of thing versus...
I don't think you will be accepted if you don't give the same amount that they do. It's just like,
I mean, I get that. And there's lots of examples of that in everyday stuff, like even at work, right? The guy who doesn't give 100%. But the thing is, I give as much as I can.
We don't have cliques at work.
No, but I mean that level of expectation, right? So... when people...
I don't know. My level of expectation for everybody, nobody even comes close to it.
Okay,
well,
exactly.
One new guy
you
does.
have, but still you have... Okay, so I guess the thing is, you go to work and you have conversations with people. You guys have text messages that you guys are bullshitting and having a good time and laughing and jokes, and you have that camaraderie. Like you say, I don't care about my friends.
I don't recall that.
Do though. It might not. I'm not talking about all of them, but there's some of them that you are in touch with almost on a daily, even when you're not at work. And those that you don't get to see at work, you guys still keep in touch out of work, via text, via fantasy football, whatever it is you guys have in common, even if it's just a joke. Like, hey, haha, I thought about you, and they send you something funny.
It's usually me. I'm the one that reaches out and I send them
but
shit.
you have a couple of friends that do send you. And you're like,
well, we work at the same company, but we don't work together.
Well, but either way, but you worked with them at some point.
But like years ago.
Either way, you're just trying to find, ways to belittle what I'm saying. The thing is, you have those relationships.
No, I don't think I have those. They're not as big as you make it seem. There's one or two guys, but that I hung out with. When it comes to fantasy football and stuff like that, and usually we talk about that. We're not like women, like we don't have to.
Yeah, you guys are totally like women. You guys are seriously all the time.
No, we're not, because usually
like
what do you guys talk
jokes.
about?
I'm not talking about conversations. Like you guys have other means of keeping in touch. You guys might not like have full blown conversations about your feelings and what's going on in your life, but you're sending each other jokes on Instagram or funny text messages or group chat stuff. That's still a means of conversation. You used to be, or whatever means of communication you have with these guys, you still have constant communication with them. Whereas I literally don't talk to anybody.
Because you don't reach out.
I reach
You
out.
said it.
No, I reach out to people that matter to me,
Okay.
but they don't reach out back.
Then they shouldn't matter to you then.
But they do.
Okay. Well, keep trying.
I always try.
Then you do have clicks then.
I don't have clicks.
Yeah. You have
Not
the
if I'm the
click of
only one reaching out.
Well,
Nobody's
exactly.
reaching
You
out.
have the click of people that don't reach
click
back.
Of me.
Yeah.
Anyways, my point being that it'd just be nice to like.
I don't understand it. I don't understand. You're making it seem like I have like a great group of friends or people that I talk to. There's, like I said, there's one or two guys that I talk to on a regular that are pretty good friends, but we have a age gap, and yeah, we send each other jokes or whatever now, but it's not like conversations, and our lives is usually just home, work. That's it. There's nothing more, nothing less. So I just don't understand the whole like, oh, I want to hang out and click or that thing. I'm trying to understand. I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but
Of course, you're trying to be a dick about it because it's just who you are.
no, I'm trying to see where you're coming from. That's it. That's all I'm trying to understand.
Well, I'm telling you where I'm coming from.
I guess you can compare it to like family. I was like, oh, I wish I had family.
No, I don't know. Maybe
You got
maybe.
family. When you got your family, you change, right? Because that's your people. That's like people you grew up with. That's your blood relatives. So that's your clique. You talk with them. You joke with them. You understand each other. You have that whole thing. You see them for the holidays or for a birthday. And I don't see anybody from family for birthdays or holidays.
See, but again, you're trying to say,
I guess
like
I'm trying to relate to you.
You're trying to tell me you'll never be able to relate to me because you're not a mom.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. I'm trying to put myself in a situation that I can understand what you're trying to say.
No.
And I'm saying you're wanting to have a group of friends that are moms that you can have that little clique of, I guess, that sense of belonging to a group, right? So I guess for me, it'll be kind of like belonging to a family. That's the only thing that I can compare it to. Because, I mean, through my life, family has come and gone. For my life, friends are there for a few, and then they check out. They jump off the journey. They go on their own path, and I understand that. We all reach a point in our lives where everybody has to go their own separate way. Some get married younger, some don't. Some have kids, some don't. Some get divorced. And it changes the whole dynamic of the friendships and the conversations. So then a lot of times you can't relate to what's going on. So maybe that's the other thing with the people that you're trying to become friends with or have this clique of moms at work, at school, that is not the same as what you go through, right? Because like you said, they're there all the time because they're stay-at-home moms, so they have nothing else to do. So they want to be volunteering for everything at school so they can, I don't know, be close to their kids and help out and micromanage even more in their lives. And you can't because, you're working part-time and you're raising babies and you're picking up a teenager. So right there, it's already a different relationship or dynamic. On another note, you had a birthday party with the girls that you went out to. I was kind of bummed out I missed it.
Yeah, me too. Actually, would have been nice if you were there.
Which led to a cool thing about it. So I guess it was going to be like a Star Wars themed birthday party. And I guess costumes were welcome from what our daughter told me. And then she was like, hey, I want to be Captain Phasma, which, by the way, for me, kind of threw me off because I didn't realize she liked Captain Phasma that much, especially since she really hasn't seen those movies.
Yeah, I don't know where she got the idea from.
So I was like trying to find her a costume or a helmet or something, and you were trying to find a costume and a helmet too, also. So we were kind of both of us kind of trying to figure that one out. And you ended up tell us about that little journey, like how you came up about it, what you did, because it came out pretty freaking cool.
Okay, so basically it was a Star Wars themed birthday party, and our daughter's like, I want to be Captain Phasma, and I'm like, okay. She's like one of the least I don't know. I don't think many people know who Captain Phasma is.
She was very popular when it first came out.
Definitely a lot of people don't seem to understand that it's a woman, okay? Because she's the only female stormtrooper, correct? Is my understanding? Or she's the only female captain?
Yeah. But they're not... Are they called stormtroopers?
She's a captain of the stormtroopers, right? Or of that group. I don't know all her details, but so I'm sorry for Star Wars fans out there. I'm not well versed on Captain Phasma, other than she is a female. Captain Phasma is female. So every time I went to go look for a costume online for her, it said boys Captain Phasma, men's Captain Phasma. But at no point did I find anything except on Etsy. I found one thing, and it was just a t-shirt. There were lots of t-shirts, actually. I should take that back. There's lots of t-shirts with Captain Phasma on them. But again, they're all labeled for boys and men, none for girls when it's a woman. So that was frustrating. And the one shirt I did find was a Captain Phasma where like half her body was Captain Phasma. And then from the waist down, she's in like palazzo pants and high heels. And I thought that was really cute. But my daughter didn't find it cute. Anyways, ultimately... we both were looking for Captain Phasma costumes. Nothing was going to be here on time or the right size. So I told her, how about I just get you a t-shirt with Captain Phasma on it, and I will do my best to make you a helmet. And so I purchased a helmet stencil.
Yeah, stencil.
Online for foam, a foam stencil helmet.
Yeah.
And yeah, so... Thursday night, it's probably why my mind's a blur about what happened this week, because I was enthralled with this whole helmet thing. So Thursday night, I downloaded the design. I cut it all out, thinking I got this. Well, of course, I didn't follow all the rules, and I didn't watch the how-to video. So I cut it into a lot more pieces than I needed to.
It became a puzzle.
It became a puzzle that I couldn't get to stay together.
And you got the wrong phone.
And I got the wrong phone. And
obviously I know this because I've seen enough YouTube videos at times where people are making their own costumes.
Cosplay,
and I'm like, look at these nerds. And look at their... And then I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool. They're using grinders and...
yeah,
you know, and
I wasn't
and
all fancy with all that stuff.
So when I saw the foam that you got, I was like, that's not the right foam.
So
but
when
I was like, for a kid, I was like, eh.
and I think in the end, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, this foam is good enough for my daughter. Like, this is good enough for her. It's just probably she's gonna use it one time, no big deal. And I'm literally Thursday night trying to piece this thing together with painter's tape, just trying to hold it together so I could glue it. And the thing is falling apart. I couldn't. I was up to like 1 a.m. trying to work on this thing. And
yeah.
So Thursday, I left it on the table full of tape, thinking total fail. I'm done. I can't think anymore. I messed up. Oh, well. So Friday night, I look at it and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try this one more time. And I didn't follow the rules so much in the video because I already had cut everything the wrong way. So I just went off of my puzzle instinct, and I just started rubber cementing the whole thing. And lo and behold, it came out okay.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. Yeah.
It came out okay. It didn't...
It's cute.
It didn't... I mean, for what she used it for, which was literally for like a minute when we got to the party.
Just for people to see her with it?
Just for people to see her with it. I mean, she had her Captain Phasma t-shirt and she had her helmet. She walked in with it. Everybody was like, oh, look at you. And that's all she wanted. She gave me the helmet and that was it. And
so tell me what kind of characters were at this party.
Okay, so the birthday girl was Leia.
Of course.
Her mom was, oh my gosh. Ahsoka. Yeah. Her mom was so he remembers because I already told him all this.
No, you told me part of it.
I told you part of it. I don't know who the dad's character was. I didn't ask, but he was wearing like a blue vest with like a cowl shirt. Is he maybe Poe? It's just Poe, like brown pants. I'm not quite sure. I didn't ask him who he was.
Maybe he was being cuffed bad.
I don't know.
You know Timothy Olyphant on Mandalorian?
Maybe.
Before he gets
I
the
didn't
Boba Fett
ask.
costume.
Yeah, I didn't
Armor.
ask. And then their son was Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And they had another family
So
member.
the birthday girl was Leia and the
Yeah.
brother was Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they had another family member that was Mandalorian, and he had a Baby Yoda backpack. That
Oh,
he
nice.
was like a
Okay.
satchel, and he had
Yeah.
Baby Yoda in it. And then one of their older daughters was Rey. She looked great. She looked fabulous. And then another little boy had like a little Yoda outfit, like not an outfit, but he had like a Yoda sweatshirt on,
Right.
with a hoodie, with the
Okay.
Yoda
Yeah,
hoodie.
yeah. I did find a Captain Phasma hoodie like that I
I
almost
found
ordered.
one too, but it wasn't going to be here on time, and I think it was only adult size.
Yeah,
The ones I saw.
I was gonna order a small one. I was like,
Yeah.
forget about it. Who cares?
But literally, that was it.
I found one in OfferUp, and I was like, well, it's small, but I was like, if we just cut it or use the mask and the cape. But then I'm so weird about youth stuff. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that to my kid. Because these movies were like, I'm sorry. These movies were like, how long ago now?
Yeah, they're old. They're old for now.
Yeah,
considered
like
for
easy
now.
10 years. Because I remember our oldest was all about Kylo Ren, and we were watching him.
Yeah, he loved
He
Kylo.
was tiny.
Yeah.
And that's when all that stuff was
He
around.
was, I think, like 7 or 8.
Yeah, think
Yeah.
about it. But you were talking about Captain Phasma, and I just started kind of like Googling it, like, why the hell is she chrome instead of, like, not the other ones? Because you said stormtroopers, and I was like, are they still considered stormtroopers? And you're like, I apologize. But yeah, I guess they are still called stormtroopers, you know. They're the First Order Legion of Stormtroopers is pretty much what they're called. And she's the captain, of course, that commands these guys. And I learned something interesting, Shauna. This is according to Wikipedia, okay? So, Captain Phasma has her armor polished in chromium, which has been...
There was a spider on the mic.
Which has been salvaged from a Naboo yacht that had once belonged to Emperor Palpatine of the Galactic Empire. So she's probably another... That's really annoying.
There's a spider on
So
my
smash
mic.
it. Use your hand and smash it. Jeez. Okay, so like I was saying, I looked up at Wikipedia, and it says here that Captain Phasma had the armor polished in chromium, which had been salvaged from a Naboo yacht that had once belonged to Emperor Palpatine of the Galactic Empire, which is the First Order's precursor. The chromium finish on the armor helped reduce radiation, but Phasma primarily wore it as a symbol of past power. So she's another Palpatine loyalist, fanatic or something, and she made it of parts of his old ship. That's actually kind of cool. I didn't know that.
And I still don't understand why our daughter likes her so
I
much.
don't know either. I mean,
Because it
maybe
kind of
'cause
came
it's
out of
chrome.
nowhere.
That's 'cause
Maybe it's
chrome.
shiny.
Shiny, yeah.
Our kids in
She
shiny.
likes a helmet, and it's a shiny,
and
shiny armor.
and to give it shine, because I didn't have, of course, any chrome type of paint, we just added a lot of glitter to the paint. So in the light, it's reflective. But anyways, I mean, I'll post a picture of it so people can see what it looks like. I didn't heat it, unfortunately, to give it better shape. And it was kind of big on her. I did end up using like window tint.
Mm-hmm.
I found we have a roll of window tint, and I was like, oh, I can use that for the lens portion of it. And that was so hard to glue on. I was having the hardest time getting that on. But in the end, it worked out fine. For what it was for,
Right.
my first
It
time
was cool.
making
the
cosplay,
practice one,
my
a
cosplay.
little practice one. And
Yeah.
so it was worth paying that price.
Yeah, because we paid for it was on Etsy also.
On Etsy, yeah. So it was worth it. So now I know. So maybe I will do that just to see for research purposes what it's like to be a nerd. No. So on that note, it was funny because earlier in the week, one of my friends at work told me that I don't know why I just love his daughter so much, but told me that it's like, hey, next year my daughter's birthday is on the weekend, and it's May the 4th. And I was like, dude, Star Wars party. He's like, exactly. I was like, all right, and everybody has to wear a costume. I was like, done. I was like,
So
done.
we have a year to
So then I
start
went
buying.
and I put it on our calendar, and I sent you a screenshot of it. I was like, look, there it is. It's booked. There's no other plans. There's nothing going on. So then it was funny because it went hand in hand with this one. And then you were like, wow, that's a little obsessive, a year ahead of time. I was like, no, it gives us a year
to prepare
to get our costumes ready. So maybe for Halloween we'll be doing that. But I was laughing because in my mind I was like, well, if by any chance, my wife says, hey, come on over or join us, or they say the more the merrier or whatever. I was kind of like, I'm just gonna wear my cowboy hat, and then I'm just gonna show up and I'm gonna introduce myself as Dave Filoni to everybody. I was like, hello, Dave Filoni. Yeah, hi, Dave Filoni. It's Star Wars party, right? So Dave Filoni is, if you don't know, it's the savior of Star Wars. It's the guy that's been in charge of the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and the Clone Wars, and the Bad Batch, and yeah, so he's one of the biggest next to John Favreau, Star Wars fan guys that are in charge of all the new Star Wars stuff that have been doing justice to it and following up with George Lucas's stuff. So yeah, that's my nerd part of it. And then it's funny because you were talking about the mask. When you told me about the party, the first thing I said, I was like, well, I'll buy her the Bo-Katan helmet because I've been kind of wanting to buy it. So I was going to kind of use that as an excuse. But in the back of my mind, I was like, am I really going to spend over $100 on this mask?
You just bought a helmet
for her to just throw it at the party.
Yeah, it literally sat on the table
and I was
the rest of the day.
I don't want it to get damaged, but I was like, I'll buy it. I'll buy it for the party, and then I'll keep it because that is my new hobby thing. I want to collect all Mandalorian helmets. So yeah, I bought one. It was way cheaper going to the actual store that is an exclusive at GameStop than what it was on the that web store that everybody likes to buy because it's easier to shop at. So I was like, yeah, I'll buy it for 60, 80. Oh no, was it $100 cheaper?
I don't know. I don't know what you paid for.
So yeah, I got me a Death Watch Mandalorian helmet, and I know all I wanted was my Mandalorian, my Din Djarin helmet. That's all I wanted. I just wanted one. But now I'm like, man, this is nice. And now I want Bo-Katan's, and I want Boba's, and I want the other new one that's going to come out for X-Wolves. And then I think whenever I get Mando, I'm done. So I'm thinking I might leave that for last because that's one of the most expensive ones.
Well, yeah, because that's what's popular right now.
Yeah, which is the most simple one, I think. But yeah. So I was glad to have fun. And then our baby went with you, right? And the baby was...
She was a Wicket. She got a little T-shirt. So we ultimately didn't dress up because I'm not going to find costumes last minute type of thing. But I got her a little Ewok Wicket T-shirt. Mm-hmm. And I had ordered her ears, but they didn't arrive on time. Mm. So they were little bear ears.
Oh, yeah. But you did her hair kind of
yeah,
like that,
but
right?
It kept falling out because she was running around having a good time.
So the other part that kind of bummed me out
and I wore a Bo-Katan T-shirt.
Yeah, so that's the part I was going. So the part that bummed me out was that, you showed me this on Saturday before the birthday party, and you were like, yeah, I got this Captain Phasma, and I got this Wicket, and I got me a Bo-Katan. And I was like, damn, I could have got you the helmet then.
I wasn't going to wear it for very long.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter. You would have been cool because you would have shown up with
in
an
actual helmet.
And then the helmet. And
there were a lot more parents and kids there.
And then you could have said, I walk both paths. I can
That's
take
true.
off my
I can
helmet.
take off my helmet.
Yeah.
So
was the guy that dressed up as Mandalorian, did he take off his helmet?
He did take it off. I mean, he had it off when we got there, but he did put it on later. And he took it off at the end.
He is Mandalorian, no more.
Well, I guess that. But anyways, one of the dads I was talking to, he was telling me that he didn't know it was a Star Wars party because his wife handed him the invitation saying, hey, can you take the kids she's a teacher and she had to grade some papers. So, he's like, yeah, no problem. I got them. But he didn't know it was a Star Wars party till last minute. And so they didn't have time to get ready for it.
So that one time I took our daughter to another classmate's birthday party, which is it's the same one, right? So she's been fortunate to go to 2 Star Wars parties. That one was cool, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like everybody kind of wore something. Like no one did. And now that when you told me who it was that was throwing it and everything, I remember now. I guess it would be the daughter that was dressed up as Rey. She was wearing. Oh no! The birthday girl, Leia. She was wearing like a knitted Yoda hat.
Yeah, she told me, she was telling me because we were walking, there's like the little park next to where the party was. And she was telling me that when she went to the other little boys' party where it was also Star Wars themed, that she was Yoda. And she was telling me that she's like, I make my own costumes and my parents help me make my costumes, and she was very proud of it. She's so cute. I mean,
yeah, it was an awesome hat.
Yeah,
I actually thought it was really
super,
cool.
super cute. But she was very proud of the fact that they make their own costumes and stuff. So they're cool. A cosplay family.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. But yeah, she was the one that was.
Well, so I didn't get to go to the party, obviously, and I had in my mind the idea of, you guys go out, I'm going to do some stuff around the house and like shock everyone. Because I wanted to like rip the floor apart. And I just ended up ripping carpet apart.
Which is still good.
and our house had like carpet, and then there was like little sections where it has like little wood planks, like kind of like where door used to be, or the main door. So I decided to take that off too. And man, the discoveries of things that you find when you start taking stuff apart.
Yeah, it's one of those like, man, I should have just left it the way it was.
In a way, yeah. I'm like, who cares that it was a 22-year-old carpet? I was like, what did I just do?
What did I get myself into?
And that's one of those cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. But at the same time, now I'm kind of like, but it's going to look nice. It's going to look nicer.
It'll look way nicer once we're done. It's going to look
nicer, and it's going to be much cooler because, man, crazy weather this week.
Yeah, the carpet's great in the winter, but not in the summer.
You know, like I always say, I prefer just being cold on the winter because you just, extra liner.
Yeah, just extra layers. You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Summer, man.
And then it's been humid.
It's crazy weather. So
Monsoon
my week has been kind of like I'm here and it's nice and sunny and hot. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I get to the freeway, I enter San Diego County, it's like overcasted, kind of foggy, kind of, like what the heck, is it gonna rain? Or windy, one or the other. I'm like, this doesn't compute, and then all of a sudden it might be kind of like that here, and then over there it's the opposite. But then once 6 o'clock comes around, I don't know if it's that ocean breeze comes in and the temperature drops so much.
Here?
No, over in San Diego, over at work, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, I was dying, I was sweating, I just wanted to wear a t-shirt or a short sleeve. And once the sun starts going down, I'm like, I need a little windbreaker or a little jacket because it's a big difference.
The drastic difference in temperature.
Yeah. But yeah, now I got this little project going on in the house, and I'm looking forward to it. But at the same time, I feel like I'm a little bit over my head, so I'll be watching a lot of YouTube videos here, trying to do things right.
Yeah. And we can always ask some people that we know have already redone their floors.
So that's what I ended up doing, yeah. So, yeah, I'm kind of prepping. And our 10-year-old was very helpful. He was all about it. He had a hard time. I was just told him, hey, do this, grab the hammer like this.
But it's stuff he needs to learn.
Yeah, no, but yeah, he did good. He did good. He did really good. He was enjoying it. At first he was kind of like, kind of intimidated. I think it was more of that. But then as he went on, he's like, I'm not doing it as fast as you. I was like, I don't care. Just take your time. Like, just get the hang of it. Our eldest was like, I got homework to do, so I got some final stuff that I need to get ready for. I was like, oh, I'll do your thing then. And we never saw him, but once you guys got back from the party, this punk comes out running, trying to joke and everything. I'm like, no, I'm a man. Get your butt back in there and finish what you were doing. I was like, you're not gonna get off the hook that easy. And then today, and then we're doing errands and everything. And of course, I didn't see him either. He's still working on his project. He was working on it late at night. So hopefully he does good and gets good and
Yeah,
finally
it's
on
due
it.
Tuesday. So
we'll see how that goes.
he was giving me a timeline. He's like, okay, I'm going to get this much done on this day. I'm going to get this much done on this day. And that way Monday I only have this one to do. And he told me before he went to bed that he got to where he needed to be. So.
And I don't know why, but I just really want to keep on wearing my hat.
Yeah, or cowboy hat.
Yeah,
I know you've been wearing it for a couple of days now, which is funny to me.
I just love wearing it.
And the problem is it's felt.
Yeah.
And we have cats and dogs, and their hair is just all over.
It's doing good. It. No, it's more one of those, just gotta, not a sponsor, but I love me some Cody James hats. So.
Some Putty James?
Cody.
It sounded like you said Putty.
No, Cody. I like Cody James. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll take a Stetson anytime, but I really enjoy this Cody James hat. And even the straw hats, I like them. But, yeah, I don't know why. It's just, I've been wanting to wear it all the time. I wish I could wear it all the time.
You can wear it in the car instead of a baseball hat.
I would, but you know what? I don't drive a truck anymore.
Oh, so because you don't drive a truck, you're not allowed to wear a cowboy hat.
That is correct.
I see.
Or a large SUV.
I see.
Full size.
Because you drive a small commuter car.
Yeah.
It's sacrilege.
No, That's how that works. Hey, you know what sucks? I wanted to wear it today, and I sat here for a while before we started, and there's no way with the headgear that I have for the headphones.
You can't put it on with the headphones.
I can't put it on, and if I try to put the headphones like to the back of it, they're just gonna keep on falling off. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I remember when I was a kid, and my mom used to make me wear cowboy hats all the time, and I didn't mind it for a while, and then I guess when I was getting to first grade, I used to get mad. I was like, I don't want to wear a hat anymore. Nobody wears hats. They all wear baseball caps. I want to wear a baseball cap. Mm-hmm. She's like, no.
Peer pressure.
Wear your hat.
Peer pressure.
No, I didn't want to wear a hat. That was my thing. I didn't want to wear it.
Yeah, but you wanted to wear it.
No, I didn't want to wear a baseball hat. I was saying everybody wears baseball hats.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to wear a cowboy hat?
She wanted you to stand out.
No, it's just, everybody to her, man, wear cowboy hats. Like, I mean, come on. I didn't know tennis shoes.
You think she didn't notice that nobody else wore one?
I don't think
She knew.
cared. It's more like, this is who you are.
Yeah, but she knew nobody else wore them. She knew it was going to make you stand out.
I always wore cowboy boots, too. Until she went away. So, I guess in a way, I feel like, now that I think about it, I kind of lost that connection to my mom. Mm-hmm. So, now I kind of... I went through the little phase for a while in junior high where I was wearing my cowboy boots again. Mm-hmm. Not the hat, though.
I don't ever remember seeing you in a hat.
Yeah, not the hat. My dad hates hats, cowboy hats.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, he hated them. He said it was nothing more annoying than seeing a guy driving with a cowboy hat. He hated it.
He could see you now.
Yeah. No, he saw me once. I still had a hat. Like, I had a hat when I had my old truck. And he used to be like, stupid. And I was like, hey. I even wore it for a while when I worked construction with him. I had one. And I was like, it works great for blocking the sun, so I don't care. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but, yeah, I don't know why. It's just, I feel, I don't know, complete.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it was part of it's like you've gone full circle because it's reminds you of your childhood and now your adulthood, you enjoy it again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, I feel like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Full circle, I guess. I feel like me. Yeah. So I don't know. I like it. But it's weird, because we're in the city and everything. So people kind of look at
not
it like
here.
you're a weirdo.
Not here.
No, not here, but.
Where we're at, it's not weird.
But you barely see it. Oh, I lie. I did see a guy
true.
today.
Older gentleman. Yeah, lots of people wear baseball hats, but honestly, it's because baseball hats are more affordable than a cowboy hat.
They have the price, probably.
Yeah, the average. No, you can get baseball caps even cheaper. You can get them for $10, $5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People, they're gonna buy what's convenient. So
I think I seen some cowboy hats for like $20. It's usually the price of a.
Yeah, but most
cap.
people, again, they're not ranchers. Not everyone. You associate cowboy hats with ranchers and people on a farm raising something. you know,
raising raising four
raising
pains in the butts.
4 pains of the butt and 4 pets that are
Yeah.
4 more 8. I guess it's 8 pains of butts.
Right. Eight pounds. Man.
Actually,
That's crazy.
the human children are not that as bad as the
Think
pet.
so? I think they're worse.
Sometimes the animals, I like between the kids and the animals, there's no way I could live on a farm. I would be so overwhelmed with having to take care of all those animals. Like for those people out there who do it, kudos to you that's your thing.
They're used to it.
That's
They've been doing
their
it for a long
thing.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad always wanted us to do that stuff when we were growing up, but he just never. I never had.
That's literally hard work.
Yeah. I was like, I think
Before
there was a
yeah.
post or something I saw. I don't know if you sent it to me or I sent it to you. It was like, oh, my wife and I thought it'd be a great idea to get a horse.
Oh no! I sent it to you.
Did you send that one to me?
I sent that one to you. Yeah.
And then it's the whole, and then it costs this much, and then you have to build a barn, and then you have to build, and then you have to get veterinarian, and then you have to pay for this, and you have to pay for that, and then at the end, it's like, but it's all worth it when you get on that ride, when you go for that ride.
I remember one of the horses when I was a kid. Yeah, he was such a funny punk. He used to bite. But he was like bite you, like he was like, oh, come on over, feed me, give me a carrot or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd be like all nice and let you pet, you pet on him or whatever, and then he was just like all of a sudden it's like
bite you,
chomp, and if you obviously or sometimes cry, and it was like I swear it was like he laughed every time, like he was like his head would be nodding like up and down, and you can see the whole like his mouth. I was like. He was like, you ass. Like, why is this funny to you? You made a...
in another life. Yeah. In another life.
So, yesterday, I got a really late text from my sister. And it was a picture of us way back when. Mm-hmm. And I literally just got another one right now. So, I apologize
from
for
her?
that one. Yeah, but this one's just a little kind of like meme, kind of love note, whatever.
So this is the sister that hasn't talked to him officially in going to be 7 years. No, a little less than 7 years. But she sends him messages and memes and pictures.
Yeah.
Yet they won't talk to each other. So I guess it is what it is.
Yeah.
Better something than nothing, I guess.
Well, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice to hear it. I don't know. I did reach out to her on Mother's Day too, so.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know. We haven't talked about who you reached out to.
Just her.
Just
you. Her. My friend Michelle. My friend Eddie's wife.
Because I know you said you weren't going to reach out to too many people.
Oh, no. On Mexican Mother's Day, I didn't reach out to a lot of people.
Is that when you reached out to your sister?
Well, yes, I did. I did, yeah. So her, my mom, and you. And then Sunday was everybody else. Okay. And it was just a few people, 3-4 people, and a couple of co-workers, wives. That's a message. I think I got drunk off, or got happy off your drinks.
Oh, my apple ciders?
Yeah, but you that case of apple cider.
Yeah, I was surprised you showed up with a case of apple ciders because we don't really drink.
Right.
So.
But you love those things. And it was a nice hot day.
I do enjoy them. Yeah.
So you were chilling, having a good time, and I figured, hey,
we're just sitting watching TV.
Yeah. Here, have some of your favorite drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. It was some good flavors too, in that mix.
I actually only cared and enjoyed for that apple pie one.
The apple pie one. Did you try the cinnamon one?
I did. I one of those tasted like medicine to me.
Yes, the cherry one.
Okay,
the cherry apple I thought tasted like medicine.
For me, that damn apple pie one, that ruined me. That was it.
That shouldn't have been the first one. That should have been the last one.
Well, because I was like, I'll drink whatever you're drinking.
Yeah.
Sorry, so we can compare. Mm-hmm. But that thing, it was like a 24 pack, and it had 4 different flavors, so 3 of each or whatever.
I think we still have 2 left, or did you finish them?
No, they're yours. I didn't want to touch those.
I think there's 2 left. So or like, maybe 1 left.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple of nights where I did get home and have one.
Yeah, because I saw the bottles. It's fine. I don't drink that often. I did have one. I think I had one Thursday or Friday night. I had one when I sat down to have dinner with the kids. just because
Saturday night.
it wasn't Saturday. That must
I
have
just
been
saw
another
you
one.
with it.
That was another one then.
Oh, okay.
It's either Thursday or Friday. I think I was just beat. My brain was beat.
So there was a subject, and I'm just gonna touch on it real quick. I know that you really enjoy those murder podcast things, right? And there was one time in the car because we were talking about Mother's Day, and I was like, we kind of talked about how there's two sides to every coin. Like there's those loving mothers and majority, but then every once in a while you have like those evil mothers, and you talk about like on your podcast and stuff like that. So a lot of times they're mothers, or most of the time they're women. From what you told me on most of the cases of crazy murders or whatever. Well, no, I lie, because you have told me a lot about men.
So,
but there was one that you played for me on the car one time, and I was getting so mad and upset, and I was like, "This is why I don't like to hear this crap. Like, I can't believe you listen to this, and what's wrong with you?" And I was being all judgmental, and I was upset because it really pissed me off. Like, I was really bothered about this case. And then to finish it off, I want to say a few months, maybe a year later, there was a documentary of it on Netflix, and we watched it, and I was just like reliving those emotions again. Oh, that was our cat
knocking things down again.
Reliving that emotion, and now it was like, it cut me a little bit more deeper, because now I can see the pictures and people being interviewed and all this stuff, and I was like, now I have faces to the children, which after I listened to that podcast, I actually Googled it, and I saw
know which
it.
one you're talking about now.
So yeah, and then
I was lost for a minute there.
Yeah, and I just couldn't believe that people could do that. Like, it really.
Well, and the reason
really
you bring it
bothers
up
me.
is because just recently in the news, they finally sentenced her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she finally was in the news, and it finally came up, and I had it up, and I lost it. What was her name? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Was it
her name.
like the cult killings, or it
No? Okay, so basically, so just a quick recap. It was a mom, and she basically ends up, I guess joining a cult. You could say she joins a cult. They're like preppers. First starts with like a prepper group, and then ends up being like she meets this guy. She's married. She has 2 kids, and one of them's her biological child, and the other one is actually, I think, her nephew that they're raising. And ultimately, she, meets this guy who allegedly can see the evil in people, and she's like, her head's not in the right place. She's gone a little crazy, and so she believes everything this guy is saying, and they ultimately end up killing her husband, killing her kids, killing her brother, killing the guy's wife, and then acting like they did nothing wrong. Like, that's the gist of it. Like, in a really short paraphrase version of it, that's the gist of it. So, but your whole thing is like, how could a mother do that to her kids and then act like they did nothing wrong?
Yeah. So.
And it's I say it's because she's just crazy. Like, she literally was just crazy.
Yeah. So in a way, I know it's not going to bring back the kids and everything, but I'm glad that it's finally like some closure for those family members, for the grandparents.
Yeah, the grandparents. And she actually had another son who was away at college during all of this.
Right, the oldest brother, but later on confessed of stuff that happened to him too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He talked about the abuse that he had
yeah,
received.
on the Netflix special,
Yeah.
he talked about it. So, it was Lori Vallow.
Yeah.
That was the name. I couldn't remember her name.
I know the names of the kids, but I didn't want to bring them up. So, I mean, if any of you have heard of these cases, I mean, or heard her name, you can look it up yourself too.
Yeah, no, and I was just gonna ask you,
it's
like,
crazy.
So, but the thing that makes me more fucked up about it is that I was trying to remember her name and I couldn't. Right, what I wanted to bring it up, and so I just did the basic kind of like Arizona mother kills, whatever.
Yeah, but what we have our own, like here in our area, we have that family. Remember a couple years ago there was that family,
No,
those
yeah,
kids that escaped from their parents because they'd been
on the
like
basement forever.
in their basement being
Yeah,
abused for
it's
years
horrible.
and stuff like that. So it's like parent, like this is their mother and their biological parents,
No, but
do horrible things to their children.
what I was saying is that I was trying to find her, and I was amazed at how many freaking cases of mothers in Arizona that have killed.
Oh,
Their
just
kid.
in Arizona?
And I'm like, what the heck? And I guess there's just like another recent one,
Oh,
and
really?
so that one's popping out the most. And I'm like, you're kidding me, man.
So, like, if you follow murder podcasts and stuff like that, or unsolved mysteries and whatnot, murders, men are more likely to commit unnecessary, like nonsensical, like it doesn't. There's no reason for the murders, whereas women will tend to murder close family members. You're like men will murder whoever, and women will usually murder within their circle for vengeance or some perceived slight. Those are the reasons women usually murder, or they're just gone crazy. Whereas men, there's no reason for it. But as time has gone, as there's more media coverage on all these different things, there's definitely a lot more women killers that are popping up. Or coming to light, I should say. Not popping up, they're just coming to light. But again, if you follow this stuff, you hear it.
There was another one on Netflix that everybody was talking about for the longest time, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't want to be a part of it because if it got everybody talking. I mean everyone was talking about it. I think it was like a Hispanic lady, and I guess she got what was coming to her in prison. But I just like there was people that were like when they talk about it, like, oh, did you ever? And like they start crying.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't. I can't use that as entertainment. Like to
even
watch it.
even when some people hear the names of other famous serial killers, right? You don't know if you bring up that name, what circle of people, if you don't know the circle of people you're around, that it's not going to trigger something because they might have known someone that was affected by it. Like I used to be around people who knew, who were family members of someone who was killed by Richard Ramirez, so it's like something you never talked about. It's like that taboo thing that you never bring it up. You never talk about it, right? Because you don't want to bring up those feelings, for those people. So
yeah, that's one of those weird ones, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
because if it's like in that case, right? It's something that's big. I mean, there's been movies, documentaries, backstories, and other
like you can't get away from it.
Yeah, it was such a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So there. I mean, and sometimes I guess we forget that they're based on real events.
Yeah,
and real
it's
things
not
that
a movie.
happened. Yeah,
it's not an
so
imagination.
There is going to be victims. It's going to be family of victims. I mean, we had that when we were watching that Dahmer one.
I couldn't finish it.
And then
we haven't finished it.
The family of victims were upset and reliving it and going through it. It's like, and that's when you realize, like, yeah, this is real. This is not. It's not fake. Like it actually happened.
If you listen to murder mystery, I know a lot of people who don't like it or don't care for it, but personally, I enjoy it because of the psychology behind it. I want to understand what makes people do these things. Like, what is it? What damage to their brain is it's making this happen? Like, what delusion are they living in that helps them to justify what they've done? Which could also be said about these parents who are mutilating their children right now, be thinking that they're doing something positive, right? Different subject, but same idea. It's child abuse, right? You're hurting your children. But what's the psychology behind that? Why, what happened to their brain that made them think that this is right?
And that's why I like that show. that Mindhunter. Was it?
Oh yeah, Mindhunter.
Because if I was a psychology and how they like connect it of
Yeah, that was the beginning.
the
So
FBI,
covering the
yeah.
beginning of it.
So that was kind of
Yeah.
like you're watching like, yeah, this is really cool, but then at the same time it's like, wait, hold on, no, these are real cases, these are real people. Like it took me I realized it, but I'm like checked out for a moment because I'm enjoying the show, and then I'm like, wait, hold on, no, but this shit's real.
Yeah.
Like this is how they went about it,
Yeah.
and
Remember
they connected the dots, and it all made sense.
what was the other show we used to watch? Alienist. Remember the
Oh
Alienist?
yeah, the Alienist. That was another good one.
That was another good one. So the Alienist was another good one. But, you know, and people might be like, oh, you guys are weird. I love psychology. I love to understand why people do the things they do. And I studied it for a minute, and I thought that that's what I wanted to do. But
so
life happened, and I did something else.
Speaking of that, right? So when we were talking about that murder stuff, right, and cases and how people might see it or perceive it, and it's funny because if I say that we enjoy watching documentaries or we like to listen to some podcasts, or you do, and I end up listening to them and I interact with you about them or whatever, or and everything's fine and dandy. But when I talk about why I love a scary movie character and like one of my favorite scenes, and I describe it to them, it's funny how I will get judged for that and look like a weirdo. But that's a fake thing. But everybody's fine talking about the real thing. I was telling one time I was talking about Michael Myers.
Okay.
And you know my favorite scene.
Yes, I know. You love Michael Myers.
And how I describe that
But
one.
I think it's okay. So ultimately, psychologically, I don't think people want to hear details from someone they think is sane. So if they look at you and they consider you a friend and a sane person, they don't expect you to enjoy a grotesque scene. You know, whereas you understand the details of it. And I get it that you're looking at it from a psychological perspective and how crazy the thinking is. You know, like even when we watch, was it like Dexter? Or I love Sherlock Holmes, right? So like anytime they tell you, Sherlock Holmes he's analyzing this and then we like Hannibal, right? Same thing that
I don't like Hannibal.
Hannibal, the TV show.
I don't like Hannibal. I love Hannibal.
Love Hannibal. But I'm talking about the detective, right? Like his ability to analyze the scenes. And then one thinks, because you enjoy because you can analyze that there must be something wrong with you.
That Hannibal TV show.
Yeah.
It's definitely when I've told people that is a great freaking show and they should watch it, and some people that watched the first episode and they're like,
"What the heck's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? I'm not gonna watch that." I was like, I can't believe they made that TV show for 3 seasons.
Yeah, but that's the thing is people, if it's real, it's not. The description makes it real.
That could make it real, yeah.
Yeah, the description makes it real. And seeing someone that they care for or they trust describe it or enjoy the description of it, kind of freaks people out. It kind of freaks people out. I know a lot of people who don't care for any of this. But I know both of us, we enjoy going down that rabbit hole, the psychological portion of it. And it just, I don't see anything wrong with it. I really want to understand. Like, there's lots of studies. There's lots of medical studies out there now where they're trying to reverse brain damage, because there is brain damage that causes this. There's a lot of like murder mystery stuff that I've listened to where people testify that this person who did these atrocious things was completely normal. Like, they were fine. They were like a good child. They were a good adolescent. And then somewhere in their life, they had a very severe head injury. And maybe they had more than one to the same area of the brain. And now there are studies out there that prove that in scans of the brain, you can see the damage. And the damage in the frontal lobe especially causes really bad reactions, loss of anger. You can't control your anger, your impulse to do things. All that goes out the window. Your ability to logic between right and wrong, that all goes out the window when you have this damage. And I mean, this is the damage that is most often associated with these type of cases, is that they've lost the ability to recognize right from wrong. They have lost the what's the word? They don't feel anymore, basically, is what it comes down to. So, and they've been able to trace it back to brain damage.
An immunity to feelings or emotions.
But they've been able to trace it back to brain damage. And there's actually doctors out there. I don't remember the name of him, this one doctor in particular, but he's been trying to reverse it. And like certain exercises to help recognize.
I don't think that you can reverse it.
I think there's definitely certain levels of brain damage that are irreversible, but again, these are studies. Those are things that doctors are trying to do.
Because people that are killers is kind of like the same thing as a pedophile or a rapist. You know, it's all of cerebral deficiency or effects of life experiences, cycles. So then, if you're saying that for somebody that can think that they can hurt or kill people, and we can reverse it, then it's kind of like saying that same thing for a rapist or a pedophile, and you can't. It's sometimes it's not the nature. Because I think it affects also the frontal.
But that's what I'm saying. It's usually the frontal part of the brain that's damaged for a lot of these people. Yeah. So, like, there was a case where there was a dad who he suffered a severe brain injury. He was a great father. He had a large family, great provider, had a farm. He had this brain injury, and then he started becoming delusional after this injury happened. Mm-hmm. He started changing. His demeanor changed. His mannerisms even changed. He started talking to himself and kind of seeing things that weren't really there. Became schizophrenic, basically, and he ended up killing his whole family.
But isn't that usually what everybody always says, whenever they interview people?
Yeah.
And I was like, but he was the nicest guy, and he always went to church. Maybe it's just, but that's not to be, but it could also, it could have been an accident, or it could just be like, fuck, I had enough of this shit. I'm over it.
And I'm not saying it's the case for everybody. Like, if you listen to these things, they go through those details, which is what I appreciate about a lot of these shows, is that they go into the psychology of it. They go into the medical portion of it. Some of these podcasts, they go into great detail. Some of them don't. It's just a story just to tell you. But there's some, if you find the right one, that'll give you the background, the why. Why does this happen? What is the studies? What are the studies out there that can justify why this was done? My dislike of it all, and this whole psychological excuse, is when murderers are let go because they claim insanity. Like, that to me, I'm pro death penalty. So if you murder a person, especially children, right? You're hurting children and defenseless people, especially if you do it more than once. There's no reason why they should be sitting waiting to be released.
Right.
There's no reason that they should be able to appeal. There's no reason. And the death penalty, like, you literally have proven without a shadow, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And you even confessed.
Yeah, it's that to be a nerd, right? Like, it's that Batman effect, right? Mm-hmm. Where he's always judge of, he keeps on arresting these guys, and they go to the mental institute or they go to prison,
and they don't change
and whatever. And they, every time they come out, and they say they reform and they have all these treatments or whatever, not. But the cycle keeps on going and going, and they even get worse, right? They might do even worse things.
Because sometimes in the mental institution, the brain damage is worse. They get more brain damage.
Right. So then, and that's what I'm getting at. And so then all the other heroes or whatever, right, and cartoons and comics, they always make fun of them. Like, you should have just
killed them
a long time ago and got away with it. Like, or just never released them. All this could have been prevented if you just would have done what's necessary, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, in a way,
the necessary evil.
Yeah. And sometimes, it sucks, but But some people right now they say, "Oh, you're pro," and I'm sure somebody's gonna be out there like, "Oh, that's so wrong. Like still a human life just because they took a life, they shouldn't have to die." But what if that person was somebody that affected one of your loved
And
ones or
that's
one of
the
your
thing.
family, right?
And that's always the thing.
You have that anger that you
Yeah.
want them to no, they're gonna do it to more people. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. I don't think that those people.
Yeah, I was listening to a case today, and that was one of the things, that the guy murdered a woman when he was 13 years old. He murdered a lady, and then a couple years later, when he was 16, he murdered another lady and her two daughters, and they both lived like within a block of him. And he claims that it was due to because they looked at him with racist eyes, and they were like, "How do you know? Like, did they say something to you?
See,
That was his excuse.
See,
That was his excuse for why he did it.
Was that the guy that also said? Oh, no, not this guy, but wasn't there a guy that said the dog told me to freaking kill
Yeah,
them?
exactly. So and then so the judge, believing his reasoning, instead of sending him to jail, okay, we're going to give you 5 years in an institution. And in those 5 years of institution, you have to be evaluated. And then after 5 years, you're released. So, of course, there's outrage, that he was going to be released. But in the end, he refused treatment. So they basically told him in the end, well, you're now in contempt of court because you have had 5 years to get better and you've refused to do it. So now you get another year to decide if you want to do it or not. So then he agrees. Okay, fine. I'll get evaluated. Of course, what's the evaluation? This guy's not sane. Like, he's not capable of being in society. And within that time frame, he also hurt somebody. Like, he was exemplary within the institution while he was being monitored. But then towards the end of his time, he ends up hurting somebody. And then he ends up getting slapped like 5 more years. And then the 5 more years turns into 25 years. I haven't finished the story, but it's kind of like they saw that he could not be reformed. He refused help at the beginning. And originally the judge, even though he had killed and confessed, and he even described in full detail what he had done to them.
Right.
The judge was like, "Oh, just 5 years in a mental institution to help you get better." What the?
Yeah, I don't get
Like-
sometimes the judicial system, because there's stuff like that, and like you're saying, 5 years. It's like, wow.
And not even in jail.
Killed 4 people.
Yeah.
You're talking about
And
5.
children.
Yeah, and you're
Like-
talking about 5 years.
Yeah.
And yet you got somebody that was speeding or hasn't paid tickets because they're broke or they don't have a job or they have life, and 15, 20 years.
Yeah. Exactly. And it depends. It varies state to state. It's a very infuriating sometimes when you listen to these cases. It can be infuriating because you're like, what the heck? And I get it. Over the years, there's a lot of laws that are in place nowadays because of failed cases from the past. But even nowadays, some of the current laws are still super backwards and don't make any sense. And there's definitely people who are accused who didn't do it. It just happened to be that they fit a lot of the description of the person that it really was, or they were just in the wrong place at the right time type of thing as far as the accusations go. And then in the end, they're found to be not guilty and they find the real perp. But then there's lots of times they never find the real perp.
You meant to say the wrong place at the wrong time, right?
I meant the wrong place at the right time for whoever's looking for. It was right for the person looking for someone to point the finger to.
Oh.
So that's what I meant. Like, it's the wrong place for them because they didn't really do it. But because the cops are looking for someone to blame, they just happen to fit. Like, oh, that guy was there, so let's look into him. You know what I mean? And then something ends up matching him or being very similar to that person, and then they end up arresting them for the murders or whatever. And in the end, it wasn't them. So that definitely happens. And I can see where death penalty stuff, but death penalty takes so long, you know what I mean, to process anyways.
Well,
That
it doesn't really exist in that many places.
and not too
anymore.
many states. Nope, not too many states.
Actually, makes me want to look it up and see how many people still have death penalties.
Well, we can do another subject on another podcast
Yeah,
on that
and this,
because that's. I
yeah,
mean, it's a huge subject. I mean, I can go from this. I can segue into how I feel about all these parents who are mutilating their children because they think their children are confused, when in fact it's the parents that are confused.
goodness, like we got Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, South Carolina, Virginia, Indiana, Colorado, Arkansas, Utah, California, Tennessee, and Nevada.
That have death penalty or do
Yeah.
not do have.
Says how many U.S. states still have the death penalty? Says 27 states have it.
Oh, there's murder everywhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and not
It's
just
crazy.
here. It's
Yeah,
not just here.
which
It's
is-
all
which is
over the
kinda crazy,
world.
yeah.
All over the world every day.
No, yeah. So I know you listen to a lot of those podcasts, and I've only listened to a couple of them with you, and it's just that case like really got me. Like we saw the other one with was it Candy?
Yeah.
That one, like you told me about it, I didn't listen to it, and then we saw the Hulu one, and now I kind of want to watch the HBO one just to
Yeah.
see how
The
different it
difference.
is. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes like I said, it's kind of crazy because even she.
Yeah. Happy, perfect mom, and
Yeah.
she snapped.
Yeah.
She says it was in self-defense, but was it really?
No, but I mean, she never went to jail.
Yeah, that's true. And they say people black out. You know, that's a lot of the things that people say. I blacked out. I don't know what I did.
Well, that's been proven.
Yeah.
Like,
The rage.
yeah, the insanity.
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
The rage.
When
Yeah.
they black out and stuff happen. And I think everybody has had a moment where they got so angry that they kind of like, no, I didn't. I did that. I said
Yeah,
that.
but most people don't kill people.
Yeah, right.
And that's what a lot of the conversation is these people who claim that the reason they did these things is for XYZ reason, the way they were brought up, they had an abusive parent, whatever it was, it always comes back to, yeah, but like 95% or 98% of humanity doesn't go around killing people who suffered the same things you did. So what makes your case, excusable?
Special,
Why is this excusable if no one else is doing it?
Right.
And they live the same. Like your siblings aren't out there killing people.
True. And that does happen too, right?
Yeah.
There's a big families, there's always one.
There's one usually, and that's what like this one I was listening to today. That was one of the examples. He was one of a few kids, and everyone
What
was
that
surprised.
movie with Mark Wahlberg? That's what got me messed up because I watched that movie and I was like, "Oh man, this is a weird movie, man. This is messed up." Then at the end, I was like, "Wait, this is a true story?" Like, damn.
I don't remember.
Was it Her Lovely Bones or
Oh, the one with the little girl that
his daughter? Yeah, and
in
it was
the
a
field
neighbor the whole time.
and it was the neighbor.
Yeah, it was that neighbor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
prove it or whatever not.
Yep.
But,
And they never found her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Lovely Bones. The Lovely Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
There's a lot
movie-
of messed up stories out there. Lots of messed up stories nobody knows about. And it just makes the world that much scarier. Like the world is so scary as it is without this, And I talk to our kids about some of the cases I hear, especially the cases that involve children, because damn straight, I'm going to scare them straight.
No, yeah, they need to know what's going on.
They
on the
they need
road.
to understand the reality of what could happen. Like I don't want them to be afraid, and tiptoe around every corner, but I want them to be aware. Like if I tell you not to do this or not to go there, or I'm telling you can't do this or you can't go there, it's for your safety. Because I don't know, I can't protect you out there. I can't keep you safe. I can't, some people, you can't even keep your kids safe in your own house these days, especially in California. Not allowed to have your guns, not allowed to shoot anybody if they trespass your property. Like if you shoot somebody, you're the one who gets in trouble even because they didn't kill you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I remember.
Did you have cameras? Did you have signs?
Did you
saying
have
that
your
had
sign saying no
weapons?
trespassing? That happened. My dad, the property that we grew up on, we were getting robbed. Like my dad's tool shed was constantly getting robbed. So at one point, he was like, I'm going to build a moat and I'm going to fill it with piranhas. Like, he was just like, I need to do something to get, because this was his business. This was his business tools. He was a contractor. You know, all the stuff was getting stolen out of our backyard, and we lived on an acre of land. So, you know, random people would jump the fences and come steal things. And we didn't have cameras back then. You know, it was the 80s. And my dad went to the sheriff and was like, hey, I've got people trespassing on my property, and I want to know if I can shoot them. And the answer was, if you do not have no trespassing signs all around your property, basically, where people can see them, you are not allowed to shoot them. And if they haven't hurt you physically, you're the one who's at fault. Like, you're in trouble, not them.
That's crazy.
And that's what he was told. So he was so mad. He was so mad. We didn't even own a shotgun. You know, I think he had BB guns. You know, all my dad had was BB guns, and he was just so irate when the sheriff told him that. Like, you know, this was back in the 80s, and he was just, I can't even defend my property.
Your family.
I can't defend my family. I can't defend my property. You know, he's like, it's ridiculous. Like, they can steal my whole livelihood out of my backyard. They can kill my dogs, and I can't do anything to them.
Yeah, and then at the same time, like what you're saying, and if you post all that stuff, you know, it's like you're letting them know that there's weapons in the house, so they might want to get weapons.
And we've talked about that, right? Because we've had signs where we're like, oh, that sign's cool. It says, you know, trespasser will be shot. It's like, oh, well, now are they going to try to break in because they think we have a gun? Mm-hmm. Now there's that other side of it.
They're like, oh, he's advertising
that he's got weapons.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
Yeah. So.
And again, it's just because of our lovely state.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazier and crazier.
Well, I guess that subject our conversation went down a little dark rabbit hole there, but.
Yeah, and again, like, we're not professionals, we're not psychologists. You know, this is just our point of views, just us talking about something that comes up, or you know, we just want to see. We're just talking. It's just shooting the shit, you know. And like I said, we all had different opinions, and
I definitely get passionate about this stuff because I love and I hate it. It's a love-hate relationship I have with murder, or murder mysteries and unsolved mysteries, and especially when people do things to their kids.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think that's the main one because we're parents. You know,
yeah.
we have our children, and you know, we took that path of becoming, you know, the parents and the providers and the protectors of our offspring or the future of our society, right? So we want to create a safer place, and we want to have them prepared for whatever might come, but we have to teach them and
to be vigilant.
Yeah,
it's not even teaching them to be afraid. It's just teaching them to be vigilant. Like, be aware of your surroundings. Like, you always tell us that. You get mad at me because I don't do it enough, right? You're like, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of who's in the vicinity, who's following you. Like, you tell me that all the time,
right?
You know, even in the car, is that car been following you for a couple blocks now? You know, and
I used to be way worse.
Especially when you first got out of the military.
Oh yeah, I used to be way worse.
I think I'm worse now than I was back in the day. But again, I've now got 4 children that I have to protect. Right. And I drive my kids to school every day. I will not let them walk for the same reason. Like, I have listened to some horrible stories of a child walks a block and disappears, you know, because some creepers are out there literally patrolling for children. So, and actually very recent cases. So,
yeah, and just drunk drivers or people looking at their phone or kids not knowing, and they go hit the curb.
And the kids are also with their heads in the phone also, so they're not paying attention.
We got the headphones and everything. So there's a lot of things going on.
It's a lot of things.
I mean, call it over dramatic, but
yeah.
I mean, I'd rather be safe than sorry. But yeah, I am one of those that's always like, I test the oldest. You know, I test my boys. So I was like, what was that guy wearing? Where did he come from? How many times did he go around the car? Mm-hmm. Where did you park? Why this? Why that? Are you looking at your mom? What she's doing this? Where'd she go? Mm-hmm. And I was like, you stay alert. You know, stay alert. watch your surroundings. You know.
Yeah.
Dad, why do you always sit when we go out to eat? Why do you always sit there? Why are you always looking? Why are you always asking us where the X's are?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's stuff that on an average day no one thinks about, right? The average person is not like worried about someone robbing the restaurant that they're, shooting up the restaurant. Like we've had so many shootings. One of the dads I was talking to at the party on Saturday was telling us that he and his wife were in Vegas during the last shooting. And he's like, they were on the strip and all they heard was pop, 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 pop. And they're all like, everyone's like running. Nobody knows where it's coming from. He's like, we could have gotten shot. And our kids were back at home with the grandparents. We were never going to see them again.
Yeah. And a lot of people also don't know what actual gunshots will sound like.
Oh, that's true. They think it might be fireworks.
Yeah, they're like, oh, some car is backfiring.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, no, man. But then it's funny when I remember at our old place, it was a week we were doing something, and all of a sudden we heard
Pop,
the
pop,
pops,
pop, pop,
and I was like, get the kids, go here and stay down.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. And I go to the front door, because it sounded very close, and it was funny because the neighbor had come out too, and he had like a shotgun. He's like, "You heard that?" I was like, "Yeah." And we were like, "Next block over." I was like, "Yeah, your family okay? Yeah, you guys good? Yeah, all right, cool."
Yeah.
I was like, "Let me know if you find out." And all right. And then later on I found out he was also a veteran, so I was like, "Oh, makes sense."
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yet the neighbors across the street was like, "Oh, some kids, probably playing." So I was like, "No, my man, those were gunshots." So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on, the cops showed up,
Yeah.
the whole drama.
Yeah.
But I was amazed that day. That day, I learned that there's a lot of people that,
they don't know. They have no clue. They have no clue. So,
yeah.
Oh, well, it is what it is. And just everyone stay vigilant. And I guess kind of recap, mom groups. Anybody out there got any advice for me who isn't a mom group? Do I really need to be like 100% knee deep, in there with them to be part of the mom clique? Or, can I just be an occasional mom?
Or if you're one of those moms in one of those cliques, welcome in.
Yeah, think about welcoming that mom who's doing the best she can because she literally has other things to do. And she's just trying to make some time for her kids and the school
and make friends as she can.
And make friends as much as she can. And
with similar hobbies, which is being a mother.
Which is being a mother. And then our recap. What else did we talk about? Was that? And
talking about the house and birthday parties.
And
cosplaying.
Cosplaying.
And
if any of you have done some cool cosplay stuff, please post it so we can see it. We'd love to, or share it with us.
Yeah.
We'd love to see some cosplay stuff that you guys have tried.
I know too. I've been and if you know anything about 3D printers where you might recommend, let me know.
Oh yeah, he's been talking about getting a 3D printer.
Yeah, my kids obviously they all want to make their own
Our 10-year-old, oh my gosh, he's like, Mom, if we had a 3D printer, I could totally make this, and I could make this.
Yeah. So we have that, and we went down this deep, weird rabbit hole about murder mystery podcast and.
Where did that come from anyways? Like just something you were thinking about?
Well, no, because we were talking about the Mother's Day stuff, and that was the week that it had happened. Yeah. So it was in my head, but I don't want to tarnish that Mother's Day conversation by talking about that, that shitty mother. So it was in my head, and that's kind of like where I wanted to go with. And it's just the other, the other side of mothers.
Yeah.
That can do such horrible things to their own
heinous
children.
Things that they do.
So, and it's just, it really affected me, like I said. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it. We haven't had a chance to talk about it. I haven't had a chance to tell you how I felt and how I saw that. And so that led us to talk about all this other stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, we hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you once again, and have a safe week. And I guess after all this, stay alert.
Yeah, stay alert.
Yeah.
Teach your kids to stay alert. Like, don't be afraid to scare them. Kids need to be afraid sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, clearly a bunch of parents made their kids afraid of COVID, right? So why not also teach them about, like, real danger? Stranger danger is real.
Yeah.
And also family danger. So.
And make sure that, they stay close to you because they wander off for a second and next thing you know, they're gone. Like,
yeah.
You're running around screaming their names
and they're ignoring you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's hard.
be safe.
Yep. Okay.
All right,
Bye.
guys. Bye.